Hey everybody, this is Dana from DV Auto Detailing here in beautiful Massachusetts, and you're listening to the Wax Podcast. This is going to be a podcast that is geared towards the detailing enthusiast, hobbyist, and more particularly the part-time detailer. That is the person who you have a side hustle, it's a side business, maybe you just do it on the weekends, anything like that. That's what this podcast is going to be geared towards. So this is episode numero uno. I've been wanting to do this for some time. It's just one of those things where, you see, okay, I shoot and edit video for a living. That's what I do full time. That's what mostly pays the bills and takes care of my health insurance and so on and so forth. So, do I really want to be a YouTuber and all that stuff? No, not really, because when you shoot and edit video for a living, like many other things, you don't really want to do it in your spare time. So, the most that I usually will do in terms of video is going to be the recording of a handful of details that I do. What I like to do schedule-wise is every month I want to put out a video of a detail that I do, that an actual real paid client. Get that out there. Just a regular video, music. It's sped up 700 times. So if you've gone onto my YouTube channel, that's what you've seen. Pretty much. And then I also want to put out the same video, but with a commentary where I talk about my techniques, the products, all that kind of stuff that might be useful to you guys. And then I'd like to come out with two other things in the podcast format, which would be this, the Wax Podcast. I want to tell you guys about sort of my stories, experiences, tips, tricks, and how-tos on being a part-time detailer. So, and then my last bit that I want to do is talk about a review of something. Either it's a tool or a chemical or something like that may be helpful for you in your small side hustle detailing business. Or, hey, maybe you're a full-timer and maybe you're going to listen to the show anyway. So, hey, that's great. Awesome. Wicked good stuff. Or perhaps you're just a hobbyist. And I want to talk about some retail products, too, that you can just get off the shelf either online or at a store somewhere. So I've been doing this for some time. So I don't know. Okay. I'm just kind of going on a whim here. All right. So let's go ahead and I'll tell you my story. Okay. So way back when, in 2005, I'm going to say it was right around there, I graduated from high school and I started working at an auto body shop, which just did mostly classic car restoration, right in the center of Westboro, Massachusetts, called Side Alley Restorations. So the owner, Danny Mcgee, I've known him pretty much my entire life, way back when. So my dad, all right, let's go even farther, okay? So way back when, my father, he's a big Corvette guy. He was a member of a local Corvette club in the Worcester area called Corvettes United. Bunch of his buddies, they all had Corvettes. And you got to see that this is way back when Corvettes weren't like these wicked high-ticket items like they are today. Coveted, old ones, old gutted-out shells at Corvettes of Carlisle worth big bucks. Way back when Corvettes were like Mazda Miatas. They were affordable and whatever. So, anywho, way back in the day, my old man, like I said, was way into Corvettes, and he was a big car guy, right? He had he had a 57 Chevy that he did. Always had cool cars at the house, right? And I had two brothers. So my dad knew this guy, Danny, who had this small auto restoration business right in the center of Westboro. So he's had some cars done there, had some work done there. And then my oldest brother started working there, like in high school stuff, right? He used to take his Puch moped, drive down there, and go work down there. And then my other brother, my middle brother, would work down there too. And then right around the time that I was graduating from high school, I started working there too. Summers, weekends, holiday breaks, whatever. And that's how I got into to working there. So I've been working there, like I said, since about 2005. It may even have been earlier than that. But I'm just going to kind of round it. And, everything's kind of a blur back then, right? I'm 35 now. I got a wife and a kid, and, whatever. So this is some time ago. So anywho, So what is that? It's been 15, 16 years now, right? So I worked there from, I'm going to say around 2005 up until uh, uh, early 2020. And so did just about everything down there. I did detailing. I did again auto body stuff. A little tiny bit of mechanic work. A lot of stripping the cars apart, putting stuff into bags, sandblasting parts, restoring parts, cleaning, painting, putting some things back together. Tune-up work. We would get cars that would come in and they need spark plugs done, oil changes, whatever. I do undercoating. All that kind of stuff, right? The only things at the shop that I did not do was I didn't do any welding, which I wish I had learned. And I didn't do any finish painting. That was all left to Danny. He did all the finishing painting next door in a regular auto body shop, which had a big booth to do all that stuff. So, anywho, getting back to the detailing stuff, that's really where I learned detailing, and I really fell in love with it. And boy, did I fall in love with it. And it actually kind of took me a while to realize that I really liked it, because at the time it was just kind of a job. I was always interested in cars, but not as much as like my brothers, my dad, whatever. But of course, that kind of grew over time, when I started driving and all that stuff. So I started working there. I want to say I was about 18, give or take. I got my license when I was 18. So that's really kind of when that stuff really kind of took off. And like a lot of body shops, body shops usually really aren't known for their detailing, right? And this place wasn't really all that different. But it's where I got to understand how a lot of the stuff worked. I got to know the brands, the products, what's involved. And then in my spare time was when I really got to learn some of that stuff. And you go online, you go on forums. YouTube really wasn't a thing back then all that much. It was in its infancy in around that time, right? I was just going into college. I went to Fitchburg State in Massachusetts. And so everything was really new back then, right? And so the best that you knew about detailing stuff was you'd go on some forums, or there would be some early websites on that stuff, or you'd watch car shows on a Saturday morning on TNN or whatever it was, maybe Spike TV. I don't know. They were like horsepower TV, and there'd be like commercials in between the shows. So they would talk about some of these products during the shows. And that's where I got to kind of learn about some of this stuff, particularly Mcguire's stuff at the time. And or my old man, one of his best friends was a guy who ran, his name is Bob. He used to run a local Napa right in the center of Westboro. Two of them are like best buddies. So I spent a lot of time growing up in this Napa and going down the aisles and seeing what was there. So, of course, there's all kinds of stuff. My old man used to be a big fan of Duraglass. He still is. Duraglass is great. They make great stuff. It used to always have that 16-ounce bottle of like Duraglass car shampoo. Awesome stuff. So we used to use a lot of Duraglass stuff at the shop, as well as some other stuff. We used to have local distributors come down and pitch whatever. I remember some of the last stuff that came in was like the Milwaukee rotary polisher, the buffer that came out a couple of years ago. Guy came in. I think we bought like two of them. So my boss at the time, Danny, he was a big rotary guy, because of course that's what they had way back when, right? So up to the very last, at the end of the shop's time, everything was for the most part rotary, but we did end up getting two DAs at one point, and I fell in love with DAs. DAs were great because you knew you weren't going to screw anything up. I remember learning how to use a rotary on Danny's pickup truck. At the time, he had this white Silverado, and I remember him telling me, hey, if you screw this up, it's okay because it's mine, So luckily I didn't, but it was so cool to see this paint. And he had just got this truck. It was like a used truck that he found it from somewhere, and it was on, whatever. He found it somewhere. It was probably on in the want ads. He classified something right back then. So he got this truck, and he was teaching me how to use the rotary. And I was using a Mcguire's polish. I think I was using a wool pad. I'm not even kidding you. And being able to see the difference, like in the bed of the truck, like one half of it, you can see the difference in the paint, in the light right then and there. And it was so cool to see, like, wow, man, I cleaned up this paint. This looks mint. Years down the road, I ended up using a rotary on a freshly painted, sort of like a Ford Blue, early 70s Di Tommaso Pantera. And I burnt the paint on the hood. And I saw that car not too long ago, and the burn mark was still there. And it's kind of weird because, I don't know, for a while, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you burn something on a car like that, and you're like, oh, geez, I'm probably never going to use a rotary again or whatever, But in any case, the good news is, I want to say 95% of the time when I was at the shop, for as long as I was there, I was pretty much always using the DA. So started off, of course, we had the Porta cable, right? And then after that, I ended up getting it was like an off-brand, kind of a thing that one of the distributors were selling. It was a 21 millimeter throw, and ended up using the hell out of that thing all the time. So one of the most common things that I used was Mcguire's cleaner wax, their ultra finishing wax, in their detailer line. So we use a lot of Mcguire's detailer line stuff down there. Hypersuds, use that stuff forever, right? Big fan of that stuff. And then usually to finish off tires, I was using the Duragloss detail spray. No, it's not like a detail spray. It's an aerosol gloss, right? We always use this stuff on tires. Stuff is mint. I love that stuff. But in any case, had a great time, 15 years working down the shop. I learned so much. We used to have like an early Bissell Little Green extractor that I would use. We always had Mcguire's all-purpose cleaner. Been using that stuff forever. Using that with the extractor to clean up the vehicles. I can't tell you how many times we ran out of chemicals, and we would go down to Napa and go pick up a whole bunch of Sprayway glass cleaner, the aerosols. I would detail the entire car with aerosol glass cleaner all the time, and the cars came out mint. And surprisingly enough, you could clean up the whole interior of your car with just Sprayway aerosol glass cleaner. Good stuff. And they actually came out pretty darn good. Actually, did pretty okay on the interiors too, on the carpets and seats to get some stuff out. You'd be surprised. And then that's where, also at the shop, that's where I was introduced to the Tornado gun. And holy macaroni, I absolutely love the Tornado gun. I want to do a whole episode talking about that, but thing is mint. That's where I fell in love with the Tornado gun. So like I said, so I worked there forever. And it didn't take me very long to realize, wow, man, I really like detailing. If I was smart, maybe I would have started my business way back when, but I'm not that smart, apparently. I went to film school, and I had been working in media ever since. So that's what I do full time. But I've always really loved detailing. I love detailing my own cars, family, friends, so on and so forth. And it wasn't until around 2018 that I said, Jesus, what am I doing? Why don't I just start my own little detailing business on the side? It's a great way to make some extra money. So I was still working at the shop, and I still wanted to have my little detailing business just on the side. I mean, I wasn't making, even at the very end, I wasn't making a whole lot of money at the restoration shop. Granted, I was mostly there because I enjoyed it. I've been working there for so long that Danny, Paul, and Craig, those are all the guys that worked there. They were like family to me. I love being there. When my full-time job was kicking my ass and I just needed a break from it, I would have the opportunity to go down a side alley, and it was sort of like a getaway. It was a nice change of pace. It was a way just for me to go somewhere else, to a place that I liked being with people that I liked to be around, and do something different. And every time I went in there, it was usually something different going on. Either I'm sandblasting parts, cleaning something, working on this wiring harness is disgusting. I got to clean it up. Whatever. I was always doing something down there. And like I said, that's where I really got to learn how to love to clean stuff, right? You know, it was just such a wonderful place to be. That, granted, like I said, I wasn't making a whole lot of money when I was younger. I used to work there like all summer, every winter break, all weekends, whatever. And then even when I got out of school, when I started working, so when I got out of school, I was working at Side Alley Restorations full time until I got a full time job in my field doing video media work, right? And so then after that, I would still work there on weekends, you know, at least like all Saturday. I would work. So quite often in my job, I have to work nights. So I would work at the Side Alley Restorations in the morning, start at like 7 or 7:30 in the morning, work there till like 11, then like drive up towards Boston for like 12 and work there till maybe 8. And I did that for years and years and years. So I usually work 1 to 2 mornings a week at Side Alley, detailing cars and stuff, working on auto body, and then going to my regular full-time job. And I did that for years and years and years, and it was awesome. So unfortunately, in 2019, Danny told me that he had throat cancer, and he lost his battle to that 8 months later, in April of 2020. And the shop obviously closed down. He owned the building and the business, and so everything has been pretty much dissolved. And I miss him. I miss my friends who work there. I miss being there. It was just like the coolest place in the world. Those guys were great. It was just an awesome place to be. Just an awesome place to be. So, and not to mention, it was a classic car restoration shop. So I was always working on cool cars, right? Tons and tons of Corvettes, old Jaguars, Triumphs, Chevelles, Camaros, Di Tommaso Panteras that I burned the paint on, whatever, right? So I've worked on all kinds of different stuff down there. And like I said, I got to really learn detailing, even though it's a little bit different from what a lot of professional detailers do. What I did down there, at least you learn the basics. You learn sort of how things work. It's kind of like going to school, you know, like when you go to school and you're like, oh, I'm never going to use these algebra problems in my future, right? The whole point of going to school, yeah, you're learning facts and stuff like that, but it's not so much about that. It's that when you go to school, you know, I'm talking about regular school, high school, whatever, right? You're there to learn how to think and prepare you for a real life. And that is what working at Side Alley for those 15 years really was. And like I said, and then, hey, YouTube became a thing, and other people are making YouTube videos kind of showing what they're doing and so on and so forth. And it's been a great way to see what other people are doing, learning from tricks. Like I see somebody else with a tornado, I'm like, holy crap, I use that thing too. Whew, I've never seen anybody else use one. You know what I mean? It was kind of like a thing like that, and getting to see what other products people are using, learning how people are using things outside of the box, which is one of my favorite things to do, is seeing how far I can stretch a product. And we're going to get into that during the podcast anyway. But in any case, like I said, I started doing DV auto detailing in 2018. It's on the down low. It's just kind of small. I don't really advertise. It's friends, family, relatives, neighbors in my neighborhood, people in my town, whatever. So most of my clients are like friends of friends, friends of family. Like I said, people that live like sort of in my area, live in my town. When my wife and I bought our house in 2018, we were doing some renovations. I got to meet some contractors. They became my clients. They referred other contractors to me that they became my clients, and so on and so forth. So, have I put some stuff on Facebook Marketplace like once or twice? Yeah, I've gotten, a very small amount of people on there, but also put up a thing up on Google, got a few people off of that. So, But here I am. What is it? I'm recording this right before the end of 2021. So 18, 19, 20, 21. So I've been doing this for like 3 years, right? And obviously you change a lot of stuff when you start. Your pricing, how you do things, how you deal with clients, so on and so forth, right? So it's definitely a constant evolving thing when you do this. I think it takes like 2 years to really kind of get things really in concrete. You know, like the first year is definitely like a trial run. Then the second year, you're really kind of like buckle down everything. All right, I got to adjust my prices. I got to adjust how I do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. Really settle down on what you're going to be using for tools, chemicals, so on and so forth. Because a lot of times, when you start, you just kind of get some stuff, and we'll get into that into another episode. And then you say, well, I didn't really end up using that, or, oh, you know what? This product that I have, I could use for multiple things. There's no reason to buy other chemicals or whatever. So you start to really consolidate as your business keeps going, and just, everything turns into like a well-oiled machine, right? But in any case, so I'm a media guy, right? Yeah. So I shoot and edit video for a living, and not really something that I particularly want to do in my spare time because I do it so much every day. So that's another reason why I like podcasting. I've been podcasting on some other stuff for the last like 6 years. And I love podcasting. It's great because even though I shoot and edit video, I'm behind the camera, right? I don't like to go in front of the camera. I'm very camera shy. Not really my thing, So podcasting allows you to you talk, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's wicked, wicked, wicked easy to do, as opposed to like shooting and editing video takes a super long time. Really, I've been doing this forever, and people do not realize how much time and effort goes into shooting and editing video whatsoever. It just takes way too much time. Whereas podcasting takes very little time, very little commitment, and it's wicked easy to do and put together. So, another thing too is I know a lot of you guys out there probably listening to this on your commute to work. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're detailing right now. You got your earbuds in, and you just want to hear a podcast about detailing stuff. That's what this is all about, because maybe you want to sort of learn detailing stuff while you're detailing. Awesome. That's fantastic. So that's kind of why I want to do this stuff too. There's so many people up on YouTube telling you X, Y, and Z, whatever. And that's mint. That's awesome. I'm glad that people are doing that. I want to be behind the camera. You know what I'm saying? And I just want you guys to hear my sultry voice. All right? So in any case, that's pretty much my story. I got a million different topics that I want to talk about. I don't want to get into too much, but that's sort of my beginning of how I got into this stuff, my love for detailing, and why I have a very small little garage detailing business. I'm not mobile. I live in the center of Massachusetts. It's New England. The weather sucks a lot. Right now, like I said, it's December right now. It's just about to be January in like a week. And it's not a pleasant time to be outside detailing whatsoever. So for a lot of us, you detail on the nicer weather months, and you usually shut down, or you try to do it indoors or whatever. Again, more stuff to get into down the road, but this is not an area where we get to do a whole lot of full-on year-round detailing unless you have a big garage or a shop or something like that, right? Which usually at that point you're full-time or whatever, right? So again, I wanted to have a podcast that gears towards the part-timer, the side hustler, because every other podcast out there that's detailing related always relates to, the full-time detail. Oh, you want to start a detailing business, or you want to do this full-time, you want to make this your career. Here's how you do it, blah, 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 right? That's not what I do, and especially as somebody who has to sort of tell stories every day for work, right? Like I shoot at a video. So when you are writing for video, it's really important to write with what you know, okay? So it makes it pretty real. I can't tell you anything about being a full-time detailer whatsoever. I don't know anything about it because I've never really done it. What I am, though, is the part-time detailer. I do it on the side, outside of my full-time job. Right now, just on the weekends. It used to be more, but I have a kid. So things change, right? Life changes. And, if, as my kid will get older, you get a little more freedom to do some more. Maybe I can start doing some stuff during the week. Who knows? But again, now is a great time for me to talk to you guys out there and just try to get the word out. I am so into sharing my stories and my knowledge and doing whatever I can to help you guys out there. Maybe you're somebody who, maybe you love detailing on the side. You love working on your own car. You've done like your parents' cars, your friends' cars, whatever, and you want to figure out a way to make some extra income doing this. That's what I'm doing this show for. If you're somebody who knows nothing about detailing, but maybe you've seen my videos online or somebody else's videos and you're like addicted to cleaning and you're like, man, there's some money to be had in doing this. Sure, I'd like to do this on the side. Boom. That's what this podcast is for. Again, I can't really tell you anything else about it, but that's that. There's a million other podcasts out there that can tell you everything and anything about being a full-time detailer, getting started, all that kind of stuff. And, if you're somebody that just wants to do this as a side hustle, you want to work on your friends' vehicles, whatever, that's what I want to help you with. But there is that business end to it that may be a little bit different from being a full-timer. Maybe not. I don't know. But at least I'm here to sort of give you guys my 2 cents. All right. I've had a couple of years doing this stuff on the side, but I've been doing it at the shop for a long time. And, just want to do whatever I can to maybe help you guys from making the same, maybe I could swerve you guys around, maybe dodge a bullet from maybe making some of the same mistake that I did or what have you. Okay. So anywho, God almighty, this show's almost half an hour long. I thought this was going to be like 10 minutes. But in any case, thank you so much, man. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Again, my name's Dana. This is the Wax Podcast. Whatever you're listening to on, if this is on YouTube, please hit that subscribe if you're interested in this stuff. If you're listening on a podcast app, please subscribe. Go ahead. I'm up on Instagram at the.wax.podcast. If you want to follow my DVL detailing page, it's dv.auto.detailing.ma. If you want to shoot me a quick email, you want to chat, anything like that, I'm at thewaxdetailingpodcast@gmail.com. Hope you guys have a great day. Keep on detailing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.